Believe it or not, some of reggae's biggest and most beloved songs were once considered too dangerous to play on the radio. We're not talking minor airplay hiccups. We're talking full-on government bans, broadcasters refusing to touch them, and artists getting blacklisted entirely. One track was so explicit, it got rebranded by teenagers into a squeaky clean pop hit that secretly meant the exact same thing. Another was banned by an entire government, only for that same government to turn around and use a song by the very same artist in a campaign ad years later. We've even got a British musician who holds an actual world record for being the most banned artist in BBC history. Today, we're counting down 10 reggae songs that got slapped with a ban and somehow became legends anyway. Stick around, because the final song on this list ended up charting in America despite being pulled off the airwaves back home. Number 10, Wet Dream, Max Romeo, 1968. This track almost didn't happen. The instrumental was originally offered to other singers first, but every one of them turned it down. Producer Bunny Lee eventually convinced Max Romeo, who'd written the lyrics himself but had no interest in singing them, to record it after refusing several times. Romeo always claimed the song was really about a leaky roof, but lines about giving up certain things to a partner made it pretty obvious to listeners what was actually being described. The BBC played it exactly twice before yanking it off rotation completely, and DJs weren't even allowed to say the title on air. They just called it a record by Max Romeo. That ban backfired spectacularly. British skinhead youth adopted it as a rebellious anthem against authority, and the track still climbed into the UK top 10. In the Netherlands, stations had to retitle it just to play it at all, and it still cracked the local charts there too. Number 8, Pass the Coochie, Mighty Diamonds, 1981. The Trenchtown Harmony Group built their reputation on smooth vocals, but this track caused chaos because it openly celebrated passing around a cannabis pipe. Jamaica's prime minister at the time publicly condemned it, and national radio refused to air it. None of that stopped it from dominating record shops and street parties for weeks. A year later, a British Jamaican teen group called Musical Youth covered it, swapped coochie for the word doochie to make it radio safe, and turned it into a global #1 hit, without most listeners ever realizing what the original song was actually about. Number 8, Legalize It, Peter Tosh, 1975. After leaving the Wailers, Peter Tosh wrote this as a direct response to constant police harassment over his Rastafarian beliefs and cannabis use. Jamaican radio banned it instantly, so Tosh did something bold. He bought newspaper ad space and printed the entire lyric sheet so people could read it even if they couldn't hear it. British regulators went a step further, blocking not just the song, but the advertisements for the album, too. Decades later, in 1999, that same album was certified platinum in the United States. Number 7, Boom Bye Bye, Buju Banton, 1992. Originally recorded when he was just a teenager and re-released a few years later, this track's violent lyrics aimed at gay men sparked outrage that followed Buju for nearly 30 years. Activist groups campaigned for venues to drop him, festivals tried to remove him from lineups, and pressure never really let up. He was even said to have signed a pledge promising to stop performing homophobic material, though he later denied agreeing to it. Still, he quietly stopped playing the song at major shows. Finally, in 2019, Buju pulled the song from every streaming platform himself and released a public apology, admitting it had caused real harm, including to people close to him, and saying everyone deserves the right to live as they choose. Number 6, Rivers of Babylon, The Melodians, 1970. Built almost entirely from Bible scripture and Rastafarian imagery, this one got banned by the Jamaican government for being too political. The song's own producer pushed back hard, pointing out that churches across the island had been singing those exact same verses for generations. The ban didn't last. Once lifted, the song shot to #1 in just 3 weeks. Years later, the European group Boney M turned it into one of the best-selling singles in UK chart history. Quick pause. If you're enjoying these stories so far, drop a like on this video, and if you haven't hit subscribe yet, now's a great time. We've still got 5 more bands coming up, including a Bob Marley track and one of the most banned reggae artists of all time.
Number 5. Big Six, Judge Dredd, 1972. Judge Dredd, a British reggae artist, built this song around a children's nursery rhyme, but filled it with hidden adult wordplay. The BBC wouldn't touch it. Yet it still sold over 300,000 copies in the UK with 0 radio support. The bans kept piling up over his career until Judge Dredd officially became the most banned artist in BBC history, even earning him a spot in the Guinness World Records. Number 4. Benz Punani, Vybz Kartel. Vybz Kartel has built an entire career on pushing boundaries, and Rolling Stone once described him as a figure who makes people uncomfortable on purpose. This track's explicit content got him pulled from a UK award nomination, and several governments, including Guyana, Grenada, Barbados, and St. Lucia, banned his music outright from public airwaves, citing concerns over its influence on younger listeners. Number 3. Bad Card, Bob Marley and the Wailers, 1980. Featured on Marley's final album before his death, this track was flagged by Jamaican authorities as too politically charged for radio. The irony, both of the country's rival political parties ended up using Marley songs in their own campaign advertising anyway. Despite the controversy, the album still cracked the UK top 10 and charted in the US. Number 2. Rastas Never Die, Lucky Dube, 1984. South African artist Lucky Dube actually started out performing a different, more traditional local style of music before switching genres entirely. While touring and noticing how crowds kept reacting to the reggae numbers in his set and drawing inspiration from Jamaican legends like Jimmy Cliff and Peter Tosh, he decided to commit to the genre fully. His first reggae album directly confronted war, crime, and apartheid, the system of racial oppression then in force in South Africa, and the government banned it within a year of release for being too critical of the regime. Rather than back down, Dube released a follow-up album that broke him through internationally and turned him into one of the continent's biggest reggae exports. Number 1. Ramping Shop, Vybz Kartel and Spice, 2009. This explicit duet, built over a borrowed R&B instrumental, got banned from radio and TV across Jamaica by the country's broadcasting authority almost as soon as it dropped. A censored version was released first with the raunchiest lines edited out, but even that toned-down cut drew backlash from religious groups who wanted it pulled entirely. Rather than fold under the pressure, Kartel and Spice doubled down and released the full, uncensored version instead. Despite, or maybe because of, every ban thrown at it, the song still landed on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of dancehall's biggest crossover moments, and proving that controversy doesn't always kill a hit. Sometimes it's the whole reason people go looking for it. So there you have it. 10 reggae songs that got banned, blocked, and blacklisted, yet still managed to leave a permanent mark on music history. Which one of these surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into the stories behind the music, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, so you never miss the next one.